Baby.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Bloody and Sutty show. I will be SuttySmash.
And I am Bloody. We know we have never gotten through this without one of us talking over the other one.
Not once. I'm sorry.
Let's do a quick take two.
Okay, ready?
Yes.
You want the same level of enthusiasm?
Maybe bring it up one more notch. You know what? Put the
right.
amp to 11.
All right.
Stretch the neck out because this shit's gonna be extreme.
Yeah, it's tight. It's a little tight right now. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bloody and Sutty show. I will be your co-host, SuttySmash. This is
Bloody the Elf. And welcome to the show for Schlemiels by Schlemiels.
Yeah.
Got a great show for you today. We are in episode 2, episode 2, episode 2, if you're in that Canada spot that speaks French. And we're doing episode 2 of Homicide for the Holidays. And we are talking about the second worst serial killer in United States history.
By sheer numbers.
Sheer numbers, body count. We're talking about
Yeah.
he who has removed the most from the gene pool.
Mm-hmm.
And this one will be Gary Ridgway, a.k.a. the Green River Killer.
Ooh, that was good.
It was. We came together real nice on that. It was.
Really did.
He was active in Washington. Like
Cormac, welcome in.
Cormac the Wolf.
Cormac the Wolf, yes.
Hi, Cormac the Wolf.
I didn't want to derail your sentence.
No,
but,
you're fine.
I did that.
Dude from Washington, not very smart, like to kill himself some hookers. But I mean, as one does.
To be fair. And this is going back through time. If you're gonna kill somebody, you're gonna kill the hookers, because you know who's not missed and they get replaced very quickly?
Mm-hmm.
Hookers. So you know it was if you're gonna do it, you do those or the transients or the homeless and whatnot, because they're, sad to say, it's really typically not people who are going to be missed, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he went that way, and that is how he became the second most prolific serial killer in history.
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
You want to just jump straight into it? Do you want to address my sweet Dr. Disrespect
I would
little
love
mix?
to address that. I would also love to touch on the other points that were of the show that we're doing, because it's not just doom and gloom in this serial killer. We're going to do some fun shit today too, man.
That is true. We are going to do a little bit of This Week in Dumb. Do you have anything for that?
Nope, but I can get it in with quickness.
We'll do that in real time then. And then we have the Rotten Tomatoes game. You're going to be serving me some movies today, yeah?
Ooh, I got some good ones. There's a couple I'm not sure that you've seen. Fuck, you've been disappointing me. If we can take a second to talk about how much you've been disappointing me with movies that you haven't seen.
Okay, so
Real upset about
to
it.
be fair,
There.
I am busy and I don't have a lot of time to watch the movies.
But they're old movies.
Yeah.
I've known you for how long have we known each other now?
Hang on, 14 years.
14 years. I've known you 14 years. I was trying to come up with a clever way to say 14 years, like the better part of 2 decades. But it is actually better part of 2 decades. It is. It's close.
When you round to the nearest decade, it is still
shut
one.
up. And that's why I didn't do it originally. I was hoping you wouldn't notice and I could just skate by that, but you're too smart. You're too smart for me.
Which is
outwitted
weird. You are like the person I hold dearest. Like it goes you, my kid, and like my mom. And I will correct you more than anyone.
Oh, I love you, Mom.
I saw her today.
I love your kid too.
He's alright.
James is awesome. James is funny, man.
Don't
James
let him
is
hear that.
hilarious.
He's ain't gonna get too ahead of himself.
Is he watching right now? Oh shit, I was switching cups.
He
Don't
is.
pour it in there. Nah, I'm not pour it in there. He is watching right now?
I was trying to see if I
Hi,
could hear
James.
him. He may have went to bed. He was awake at midnight though. Because I went to go
Fortnite
live.
Worth of years? Yeah, it is a fortnight worth of years.
Yeah. And
A
no,
fort
I mean,
year. A fort year.
get the fuck out of here.
Because not Fortnite. Fortnite is 14 nights. We've known each other a fort year. It's 14 years. Who we rating?
Man, let's just call the show.
Oh man.
Shop.bloodyelf.com. Get the hottest merch in the game. All right, let's go. Is Jen alive? Send everyone there.
Fucking so yeah. You were gonna tell me something.
I don't remember.
It's good. It's good, it's good, it's good. You're outlining the show.
Yeah. Then we're gonna do Rotten Tomatoes game, and we're gonna do serial killer movies. You're gonna be serving me, and we're gonna call it
I am.
the show. And then we're gonna play some
That's
games.
the tangent we went on, is how you were disappointing me so sorely with not having seen a lot of the movies that I want to present up to you.
And like I said, busy
Mm-hmm.
putting this train wreck of a whatever we want to call it together.
That's very fair. You do a lot of work for us, and I appreciate you endlessly for it, man. I really
You
do.
mention that, Sin, which I appreciate. And
And I
because you
appreciate-
do that,
you appreciate it about me.
did you went on a tangent already about how your Christmas tree's cooking as shit, right?
I did.
All right, good.
I
Just wanted to
fixed
make
it.
sure it was
and,
addressed. Oh,
yeah,
you didn't.
I fixed it. Well, shut up. It's less
Fixed.
crooked than it was before. It's
Didn't
those fake
fancy fix it.
fucking- man. It's fake fucking trees. I fucking hate fake trees, and we have
Mine's
one.
straight.
I don't like it. Huh?
Mine's straight.
Shut up. This one went through a move, or several. I don't know.
So did mine.
I miss having a real tree. Maybe it's a subconscious thing, right?
Mhm.
That I don't want to have this fake tree. So when I put it up, I'm like, my subconscious is like, hey, fuck this up really bad, so that you can talk Murray into letting us get a real tree. Because I'm not Christmassy. I don't like Christmas. I'm not a big Christmas fan. I'm not a holidays fan.
Clearly,
But
look at your
if-
tree. It's crooked.
God damn it. But the one thing I want to do right is the fucking tree. I want it to be a real tree. I want to have that Christmas tree smell throughout the house. I enjoy that very much.
Dude, you want to know a little life hack for your fake Christmas tree?
The pine tree air freshener?
Yes.
Not the same.
It's not, but it's better than what that thing smells like.
It is. That thing smells like dust and probably
Moisture?
moth piss.
Mine was like, ew. Has it been like airtight sealed for a year?
Yeah, mine wasn't that bad. Cormac the Wolf says, I know I've been procrastinating a lot, but I might actually want to go work on my OBS. You absolutely should, Cormac, if you need help
Big time.
or if you have questions.
We got you, fam.
You can feel free to hit up myself or Bloody the Elf. Probably myself, because I had to help Bloody the Elf with his OBS.
Just one time.
Just the other day. So you're helping your friend with OBS the other day.
The other day.
But yeah, seriously, if you need help with it, feel free to reach out to either of us. I'd be more than happy to help you, and I know speak for Bloody the Elf, as he would be more than happy to do the same, even though he didn't tell you that he was switching platforms. And,
P.S. I switched platforms back.
Oh, it won't even start. You should uninstall that, reinstall it. That's turn it off, turn it back on again. Start there. I should do the same, but you like pozole. I do love pozole. I had some today, actually.
What is pozole?
Pozole is like a soup like a Mexican soup with hominy and other such things.
Is that an R&B singer?
It's very good. Yes, it is. As a matter of fact.
Yo, what's up? I'm hominy.
No, it's got weird stuff in it, right? But you can't pay attention to the weird stuff that it has in it. So it's got hominy and some vegetables, and you put cabbage on it, and it's got some pig ears in it, and you sprinkle some lime on top of it, and it just tastes so good. But it's like a red soup, and it's just
tomato base.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
I'd try it.
It's really good. And I saw your face when I said pig ears, and I tried to sneak that in there without it being a big thing.
I kind of like pig ears.
Pig ears are really good, but they
really good is the wrong word. But
well, no, they are, because in pozole, what they do is they soak up the juice from the soup. And
okay.
So it's just floppy pig ears, fucking. You can't think about what it is. You just gotta eat it. It's like if you eat a rump roast, you're not like, oh man, this pig's ass is delicious.
Okay, first of all, pig's asses are delicious, and I'll eat them all day. I eat ass.
I mean, who doesn't?
Anyway.
If you don't, you're doing your life wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and...
Yeah, if you're doing it. If you're not, maybe eat a little ass. My mom is going to be like,
get better, like
you boys are just so...
It went down. It was just a downward spiral as soon as Sutty stopped being a mental health fucking... What's the word? I don't know. Pro something.
You were a mental health advocate?
Advocate, that's the one.
And now you are...
talking about raping
eating
people's
ass.
ears and eating ass.
Eating ass. Jesus.
Yeah, here we go. All right. Let's go ahead and kick it off with Homicide for the Holidays.
Homicide for the Holidays. Gary Ridgway. Turns out, really bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Born just after the Second World War.
1949, February 18th. So... Gary Ridgway grew up in a house with a mom who was fairly terrible. She was abusive in all the right ways that will warp the shit out of a kid. So she would like give him baths and like as first like she would like okay, so she worked for like a tailor, and she would get men's measurements and like be all up in their shit, and was very provocative. And so when she would come home from work, and poor little Gary over here, she'd give him a bath and really get into his dirty parts, as he said. And she would tell stories about how she would intentionally arouse her patrons, and would then go into such details as how their dick smelled, and from there. And so
the answer is Taco Bell bean burritos. Everybody's dick smelled like Taco Bell bean burritos.
Some of them smelled like sour cream. So deluxe, deluxe tacos. What does Taco Bell call them? The ones with, if it's got sour cream, it's
the burrito
supreme. Supreme tacos. And
don't question why I know Taco Bell's whole menu.
Yeah, I eat it a lot. There's one right across the street from my job.
You can get delicious shit for 79 cents. Why wouldn't you?
Where else would I get that kind of deliciousness?
What a value.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's a good deal. Anyway, so she would also, she would walk around the house like very scantily clad. So like, she's talking about dudes' dicks and like didn't wear much of anything, if anything at all. And was real shitty to his dad, like real shitty. Like they were still together, but like she would be like belittle the hell out of him, like break plates over his head in the middle of dinner and shit. And he wouldn't do shit about it either. He would just walk away and be like, oh, I'm gonna show her, I'm gonna give her the silent treatment for you just negotiated your way out of the rest of my night. I hope you're happy. Like not really did much about it.
Well, not only that, so his dad was a bus driver, and he would come home and complain to both his son and his wife about the number of sex workers or prostitutes that would frequent the bus or be around on the streets where he was. And to piggyback off of the baths that you were talking about, he had a bedwetting problem back when he was a kid, and she would get angry when he would wet the bed. So she would be especially aggressive during those episodes. Yeah, which
totally forgot about that. Yeah, you're absolutely
right. Giving the old Dirty Mike and the boys a good scrubbing, like with a pumice stone. I haven't, but you know that's some people's fetish, and I'm not here to fetish shame. But it can't be comfortable. Can't be even a little bit comfortable. But that's the type of stuff that this kid had to deal with.
She was pretty horrible.
Like she was a terrible mother.
And so he grew up, and like a bedwetting thing too. That's kind of like a telltale sign. Like if you're a bedwetter as late as he was, like into his like childhood. It wasn't like when he was like 2 or 3. It was like he's 9 and still pissing himself. So there was that, and then he really hated his mom, like hated her, but at the same time would fantasize about wanting to bone his own mom, because it's like that whole Freudian thing where it's got a name and it starts with an E. Oedipus. Yes, that's exactly what it is. So, and what Freud said about
starts with an O.
Fuck off. Actually. And then it starts with an E if you like me. And so the Oedipus complex is basically what Freud said was every male child will at some point have fantasies about having relations with their mother, but then this is obviously debated often, but on a subconscious level, where they would then see their father as the one who actually gets to lay said mother, and you see your father as a
competition, and you're resentful of them. Yeah.
But then you learn that he's the one who's the master of the household, and you just accept that, and then you stop fantasizing about your mom, and it's all subconscious. Like you don't really do it, but you do. And so anyway, he saw his father as pretty much like a limp noodle. Like, so he never had that. And so he would continue to consciously fantasize about having carnal relations with his mom. And
Cormiff just said, it's a good thing this is 18 and over.
Yeah.
Like,
so
this is really skirting that POS line.
So he then would take out his aggressions on like animals. Like he said he killed a bunch of birds, and then he graduated to drowning a cat, and then he would shoot the neighborhood dogs with pellet guns. And that was like his release. Like he would torture animals, which is of course another rather large serial killer red flag.
Roggy, good morning, welcome in, and
hi.
Buckle up.
We're gonna be on a ride.
It's a doozy.
So Gary then entered his early teens and had evidently, I'm going to skip around, so if I jump over something that I missed, feel free to, because I'm doing this all from memory here.
No, you're good.
So he, in his teens, was starting to get a little bit more and more like aggressively violent. And when he was like 13 or 14, he said that he had walked by some just random, like, it was like a 6-year-old.
He was 16. He was 16, and he lured them. He lured a 6-year-old into a forest.
And then stabbed him.
In the liver.
And then kind of just left him to die and walked away and laughed about it. And he didn't die, but he didn't know who Ridgway was, so he was never able to identify him. And then he grew a little bit older and then started soliciting sex workers.
Yeah.
And then from there, like, he hated sex workers, but still wanted to, like, he was starting to get like a sex addiction. So he would still continue to hire them, even though he hated all of them, because he hated women, because he hated his mom.
Right.
So he eventually winds up meeting a girl. Her name was Judith Lynch, who he wound up marrying. He was young. He was like 20 or something like that by now. And joined the Navy and moved away from her. And oddly enough, his military training, they did like a study back in 2016, and military training doesn't like make them more or less aggressive. It just is. I always thought that, like, oh, he's fucking militarily trained, so now he's gonna be that much worse. But it doesn't really have an effect on a serial killer. But while he was overseas, he was somewhere in Asia. Do you remember where? Like,
I don't.
Korea or Vietnam or something like that. And
around that time, so it makes sense.
Yeah, I think it was in Vietnam.
Probably Vietnam. It was probably Vietnam.
So he solicited a lot of Vietnamese prostitutes who he would start to kind of batter them around a little bit. You know, just give them a little firm talking to with his fists. And came back and found out that while he was overseas cheating on his wife with Vietnamese prostitutes, that she had also had an affair. And he was smart enough to know, but now he's like a violent dude. But he was not very smart. Like, his IQ was like 90.
It was in the 80s.
Like, yeah, like it was high 80s, almost 90. And I'm just gonna brush that off and be like, I'm still right. It was 90. And he wound up knowing that if he killed his wife, he would be the first person they suspected. So he left her alone and just got a divorce. And then
sorry, I don't mean
get in there.
Tusky just played the oh my god from Trolls 2. Fucking soundbite in here. So
oh my god.
Oh my god. Oh god, Tusky, I appreciate you, man. And I'm sorry, they're Sutty shekels, not Sutty bucks.
Anywho, so he's now divorced and winds up becoming a devout Christian, like born again on a level in which is like
disturbing.
Like he
a disturbing level
can't do anything without his Bible being like in his hands. Like, he can't sit, he can't sleep. Like, imagine like watching TV, but you have to hold your Bible. Like, that's how Christian
and
he was.
He would cry after reading the Bible.
Yeah,
and
not
after,
like sob.
And after sermons, like sermons would happen, and he'd be in the pews, just like
yeah, like he was like in it.
Yeah, he was Not great.
And he would then go to his neighbors and try and convert them to Christianity as well, without success. And then he would have doors like slammed in his face, like, 'cause he was a creepy dude, you know?
Yeah.
And
looked creepy.
Yeah. And so it didn't go well. And then he eventually like gives up on that because it's not working out, and then goes back to sex workers, and then kind of shifts his addiction from sex to Christianity back to sex. Did I miss anything on that?
No, you
Pretty
gotta fill
accurate.
that void with something. Yeah.
And so he started hooking up with sex workers, and then he eventually recalls killing some, but he's so twisted and fucked up by this point that they kind of compare him killing somebody to us like accidentally stepping on a bug and like, or like breaking limbs off a tree. Like, you don't really remember it, so
it's like, oh shit, well, that just happened, I guess.
Yeah. So,
but he was still cognizant of the repercussions that they had, that the act had. It didn't affect him in the way that that murder or a death period affected, most normal people. It was just, he knew, he was like, oh shit, that died, but if somebody finds out about it, I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah. So he would cover his tracks pretty well, and then he would, his like MO would be, he would have sex with a sex trafficker, or Jesus Christ, a prostitute, and then he would, Jesus, and then he would, no, he liked them, they were cool.
Yeah.
But the actual,
my name is Boris.
Yeah, him and Boris hung out a lot. He would then strangle his prostitute and then go like bury her in the woods. But after that, he would then like get the like, he needed to fuck something again. So he would then go dig up their dead bodies and fuck the body. Like, he was like in it.
So here's the thing. When he killed them and buried them, they weren't like individual like places that he buried them.
It's all same.
He buried them in clusters, and they would be posed, and they would typically be 100% nude, and then he would come back and get with the bodies. And the reason that he said that he did that is he didn't find like sex with the bodies more gratifying than with a live person. He was just, it diminished his need to find new victims.
Yeah.
And he knew that by doing that, it would make there was less of a chance of him being caught.
Yeah. He would use their bodies until they were so like they were so like far gone that they would be like maggot filled and shit like that. So he was like, all right, as soon as they would expire like real bad, like a little bit of here and there he was okay with, but they'd get like full of shit, and like animals would fuck with him a little. Like, he was just out. Like, he would then go find another one and then kind of rinse, lather, repeat. And do you know, this is, your chat's got to be fucking awesome right now.
It's good. Fucking Roggy is like, at this point, if your next topic was cooking utensils, are your broken sex toys really out of order or out of use? It would be less gross.
Yeah. He was a sick dude.
Cormif is like, what the fuck am I still here for? Because it's compelling content. That's why you're still here, Cormif.
Ain't nobody shutting this shit off. They want to know what happens.
Don't challenge death to a pillow fight unless you want to deal with the repercussions. That was good. That was good.
He bought stock in Vaseline after that.
Christ, sorry, go ahead. Continue.
No, that's good. And so he had something that was interesting about it was, as much as he hated his mom and like wanted to get rid of her, like he never did. Like, it was like weird. And then he winds up getting married again to, what was her name? I have it here.
Starts with a J, I think.
It was Marsha Lorraine Brown. Real close.
Real close. JKLM. 4 letters away.
And she was kind of like an odd pick for him because he still had strange standards in the sense that, I mean, granted, he would have relations with dead bodies,
Standards,
but he still like wanted to keep them trim.
Yeah.
But he married a girl who was like notoriously overweight, which was like out of character for him. But it was ultimately because she was more like he could control her easier. So
just got to roll her from room to room.
Yeah. And I don't think she was that bad. But he started to get abusive with her now. So like he would slap her around and shit, and then she wound up getting a gastric bypass surgery. And she started losing weight, which he didn't like because now he was concerned that she would find somebody else. So strangely enough, instead of killing her because he knew better than that, keep in mind he's not smart. Like he's like a D student at best, and that's like at best. Like work his dick off, he could get D's. Like he wasn't smart. And D's nuts. And he wound up divorcing her for that. And then
for losing weight, it's like she's too skinny.
Yeah, she was getting attractive, so he didn't care for that. I need a
fat ol' ass.
Yeah,
is it what I imagine his was on the divorce papers?
Yeah, and I think they even had a kid together. Like, he has a son, which was
he does disturbing,
right?
Concerning a little bit.
So
when you talk about, and that's the thing, man. When you talk about gene pools and passing this stuff on and
so
seeing the history from like the amount of and then it becomes the debate of nurture versus nature, right? Like are these behaviors things that are passed on, or is it something that's taught because of the lives that they led as children? And it's that type of debate, that study is super interesting to me. You know what I mean? And that's, I think, what got me so into it when I was younger, was figuring that out. Like, I'm going to be the one to figure that out. I didn't, but...
Right. But he was real careful, too, because he kind of wanted to protect his child, so he would never do any of the shit at home. Like, he would go out, find somebody, cheap hotel room, kill them there, and then go dump him in his burial ground area.
Yeah.
And then so that his son wouldn't accidentally like walk in on something. He was worried about that, which is real kind of strange. But this is weird, like how he was so like completely despondent of any type of like human life didn't hold a lot of value to him at all. And it was just his like sociopathic shit. But with his kid, either he had learned enough from just society in general, or if it was some sort of paternal instinct that kicked in that he wanted to protect him so he wouldn't do shit at home like that. Just to protect him. So it's just weird how his brain worked. And then he went on to kill, what was the total number?
Well, he confessed to 49, but it was up to, he admitted to, or he was charged for 49. He confessed to 71.
He confessed to 71, which there's no reason to doubt him, but they think it's significantly higher, like in the 100+ range, because his issue was he didn't remember. Like, he would forget about them.
Because he
didn't
like,
care that much. Like,
yeah.
Some people would kill because they got like a thrill out of it, but his was just like his pleasure centers were so fucking burnt out that he would murder them and then dump them and literally forget about it. And then it's over and over and over again. So he got caught. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm hazy on this, but it's basically a couple of kids were out playing in the woods, and one of his victims had, like, he buried too shallow, so she had worked her way up.
Rain and erosion and
whatnot, like animals and shit.
It
dug her up, so they accidentally stumbled upon it,
Yeah.
and then wound up calling the police. And
Well, the other thing, right, is he had gotten married a third time.
yeah,
And when that wife moved in, and that's the one I was thinking of that I think started with a J. I don't remember her name.
her name was
All right.
Claudia Craig Burrows.
Yep, not a J.
No J's there.
So you couldn't just let me have that one. So thank you for that.
Her name was Jladia. Jla. You were perfect, buddy.
She had talked about when she moved in, his house or apartment didn't have any carpet at all. And she had gotten a call from the police saying, hey, get out, we need to come talk to you, we suspect that your husband is this guy.
Mm-hmm.
And when
Just
she
want
was
to have a
talking
little chat.
Yeah. So when she did an interview back in 2010, fairly recently, I mean, relatively to this, all the goings-ons, the police told her that he had probably used the carpet to dispose of the body.
Yeah.
Just cut the carpet out of the house so that he wasn't purchasing a carpet. And like, for being as unintelligent as this man was, he did a lot of things for self-preservation that most people of that wouldn't do. Oh, Stinky Kaniga, thank you for that follow, man. Thank you for enjoying this content.
He like, keep in mind, he's not an exceptionally bright dude. He evaded police for a long time, like a really long time.
Yeah, no,
like,
he really did.
Decades. He was able to, like, he didn't get caught until the 80s.
Yeah.
And he just kind of, I killed him. Like, it is what it is. It was no crazy court case or anything like that. He admitted it. But
yeah, because of how little regard he held
just
for
didn't care. Yeah, I killed him, and I wanted to kill as many as I possibly could. He hates sex workers. He was just gonna kill them all. And he was like smart enough to know too that, like you were saying earlier, that they were the least likely to be missed.
Yeah.
And it was just him, and like he was proud that like he had made it that long because he wasn't very smart. So he was like kind of compared himself to Ted Bundy in the sense that his thing was he had made it just as long as he did and killed even more people than he did. And Ted was so smart and he was so not. And that was what he was proud of.
People are fucking weird, man.
So anyway, Green River was the area in Washington that he was active, so he became the Green River Killer. And he was the second most prolific serial killer in United States history.
This shit blows my mind, man. And it's fucking, we were talking about the whole genetic things before, and whether it's nurture versus nature.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know a way that you could ethically figure that out, you know what I mean?
Correct. Yeah.
Because it's impossible. Like, you're gonna fuck kids up, so there's no way to just be like, oh, this is the surefire way that kids become serial killers, so make sure they don't do that. But
yeah, some people are fine,
you make them fucking serial killers, and you're like, yeah, well, it's just one, but that's a fucking person's life, you know?
Yeah.
So the ethics behind it is it's mind-boggling to me, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
especially with like sociopaths too, where it's like the things they do care about and the things they don't care about, and why. Like, why would you value one life more than another when life has no value?
Yeah.
So it's like when you have like two sheets of paper, you find like that you like one, but the other one doesn't when they're exactly the same. Like, it's doesn't make sense. It's super bizarre.
That's totally fair. But dude, it's crazy. And I don't know, man. I find that stuff nuts, and it makes me question a lot of things, you know what I mean? Like, as a parent especially, right? As a parent, and Bloody, you can bounce back on this if you like, as a parent as well.
I'm a fucking terrible parent.
It's like, well, I'm not like, I'm a good dad. Like, that's one of the things that I know that I'm really good at, right? Is I'm a really good dad. mediocre. I'm aggressively mediocre at pretty much everything else. But as a dad, I'm a good dad. But I still worry that there's some decision or some thing that I find minuscule and not a big deal, that when my kids will tell me as I get older, or as they get older, they're like, hey, this kind of fucked me up a lot. And that's a thing that at the time I was like, they'll be fine. It's not a big deal. You know what I mean?
I think kind of on that same level, but I'm understanding enough to know that because that's a concern in the back of your head, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, that's also very, very fair.
When people that are usually bad parents don't know, they don't even have that.
It doesn't even register. They're just like, this is fucking the kids.
And as well as like being a dad, like it's really two things. For you, it's like 100 things, but because there's so many of them. But for you, it's gonna be two things. Number one, be around. It's really kind of one big one. And the second thing is keep them off the pole. You do those two things, you're fine. Now it's a little bit harder for you because you got 30 little daughters over there.
30 daughters, yeah.
So you're kind of, I mean, one or two is acceptable.
No. It's a 25% success rate is my goal. If one of them goes, then I'll be disappointed. But it's like, well, I did.
75% is not too bad.
75%,
That's still a C.
That's a C. That's a passing grade. Yeah,
it's average.
Oh man, not my parents. I'm the most balanced person in the world. Fucking Rocky, you're a beautiful bastard. You beautiful Frenchman. You are gonna conquer the world someday, and I'm excited for it. I, for one, worship my French overlord as long as it's Rocky.
You gotta see this, dude. Look at this. Fucking dog.
Kilo the dog. Oh, I want to cuddle Kilo right now. I want to wrestle with Kilo, and then get down on the ground and just.
Did you just break my dog's neck? Is that what just happened?
That was cuddling.
Did you just I Am Legend my dog?
Ah, man. Hey, dude.
Hey.
Speaking of segues, are you ready for This Week in Dumb?
This Week in Dumb. This Week in Dumb.
It is a local story, as a matter of fact. Well, local-ish. Local adjacent.
You found one? Because I found two while you were talking.
I did. Well, I found one.
Nice. Trifecta.
Tucson, Arizona. Man eating tacos from Taco Bell, as it were. As we were talking about Taco Bell earlier. Taco Supreme. Taco Supreme. Burrito Supreme. Fucking.
It's just the same burrito with sour cream.
There's a Tenacious D song with that, and I can't remember what it is.
Explosivo.
Yes, that's it. That's the one. So he's driving, eating a taco. He has to drive on the freeway. Normally he drives with his windows down to get the wind in his hair.
Yeah, but I did the same thing.
This day, he drove with the windows up because he did, in fact, get a Taco Supreme. He didn't want the lettuce and taco bits flying out the window into the freeway for the birds to get them. So he rolled his window up, ate his Taco Supreme, heard a and was like, what the fuck? And then heard another and his back window shattered. So he pulls over to the side. Was like, well, that's fucking weird. Thought maybe it's a rock or something. Then decides to get back on the road, calls the police to report it as a upstanding citizen would do. And the police are like, oh yeah, there's an active shooter in that area. So this man was saved because the first bullet went right in his driver's window, or driver's side window, went ricocheted right off because of the angle. And the second shot ended up shattering his driver's side passenger window.
He was getting shot at.
Yeah, he was being shot at. So the fact that he was eating a taco from Taco Bell saved this man's life. So Thank you, Taco Bell. And your Taco Supremes.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So for this one, do you know what happens when you don't pay your property taxes?
I don't. What happens?
The city treasurer will actually foreclose your house. So you have to pay your taxes.
Do that.
And in this one, an unpaid property tax bill cost this Michigan man his house. It was a bill of $8.41. He just forgot to pay it because of its dollar value, and out of sight, out of mind, gets a notice that he comes home from work one day and there's a giant foreclosure sticker on his
No fucking over $8.
$8.41.
That's fucked. And Eggs Benny said, I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Tuscan.
Tucson.
It's not. And the C comes before the S, so it would be. It's Tucson.
And,
which means the land of virgins in Apache.
Oh, it doesn't.
It doesn't, but it's, you know.
A whale's
It's
vagina.
worth a shot. Wales settled in 1673.
So anyway, yeah, this guy lost his house, and now they're at court.
Over $8.
Over $8.41. Now it's
Holy shit!
It's,
Think of the turnaround on that for the state. It's like, yeah, we got this house for $8.
and what's funny is when there is an they sell that house and they keep everything. So they will sell that house
That's what I'm
for.
saying. The ROI on that is fucking insane.
They'll have to pay the fee to the treasurer, so they'll pay the $8.41,
yeah.
and then they pocket the difference. So it would be roughly. They said the house is worth roughly $60,000 because it's just outside Detroit. So they're going to keep $59,992.
I mean, they got to get rid of all the dilapidated off of the property. I mean, there's a cost that goes into that, but just the property alone, the land itself, that's impressive.
And then the last story I've got for you here is a group of Santas were spotted kicking down a wall and ripping out a labor sign.
What?
And this was in
The Santas?
Santa Clauses were all pissed off over a labor sign.
A gaggle of Saint Nick's did this?
A murder of them sure did. They took it and got pissed about this sign that was promoting labor of like a union, and they were not union workers and found offense to it, and they all just gathered together in their Santa mobile, got on the sleigh, and just came in there and kicked a fence and this was like a brick fence. They kicked this thing down. Yeah, they like knocked it down and then ripped the sign out of the yard.
Dudes. They're hefty dudes
And
by
they're
nature.
jolly.
Yeah. It's a fucking a pride of jolly old elves.
Indeed.
Beat down a wall.
Absolutely.
That's awesome, dude. It makes me happy. I'm okay with that. That one I'm okay with. You know, it is dumb, but I'm happy that it happened.
Too. This weekend.
Bloody.
I'm ready. My body is ready.
You ready?
My mind is ready. My soul is ready.
I'm ready. I feel it deep in my plums. Got a nice bluish hue to them. Ready to take them to market.
I think this is my favorite part of, regardless of what we do in the beginning.
It really that's my favorite part.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if we just did streams of just
The Rotten Tomatoes game?
Yeah, Rotten Tomatoes game, I would not be upset about it.
I wouldn't either.
It would make it a lot easier to produce, I'm sure, as well.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know because this is it. This is all that I do.
It'd cut back some time.
But I'm such an asshole.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look, it's a cattail.
Yeah, I got a kitty.
Put that anywhere. Smell it.
Swear to God, man. You ever smelled cat piss before? It smells like regular
Yes.
pee that took a shit.
Oh my God.
There's that.
Christ, it's so good. All right, so we're gonna take a gamble. I have 3% on my battery. If we don't get through all of these quickly, I will have no notes.
Let's go fast.
Yeah, So, number one, in the late 1960s, early 1970s, a San Francisco cartoonist becomes an amateur detective obsessed with tracking down the Zodiac killer, an unidentified individual who terrorizes Northern California with a killing spree. Directed by David Fincher, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo. I'm speaking, of course, of
Zodiac.
2007's Zodiac.
So
Dear editor, this is the murderer of the 2 teenagers last Christmas at Lake Herman and the girl on the 4th of July.
I want you to print this cipher on the front page of your paper.
He wants his code in the afternoon edition.
Ray Smith, don't you have a cartoon to finish? Another letter.
School children make nice targets.
He gave himself a name.
Greek, Morse code, astrological signs. This guy's used them all.
I like killing people because man is the most dangerous animal of all.
How does one do that?
I like puzzles. I do them a lot.
This was a good one because I actually thought about putting this in your episode, but I wasn't sure if you'd seen it or not, and then I didn't want to bother you, so I just didn't.
I've seen every movie.
I remember this being kind of a movie. Like, I didn't lose my marbles over it. But it's a
Here's
pretty
the thing
popular.
about this movie. This movie was a very slow burn. And I think it bothered a lot of people because there was no closure on it. Because the Zodiac killer, as of yet,
Still not caught.
is not caught, unidentified. So it's like, who knows? Maybe you can solve it. It's like the modern day unsolved mysteries. Like if Robert Stack had read the end credits, oh god, I would have blown my whole fucking load. Like, maybe you can, you know what I mean? That voice that he did. I can't do Robert Stack, but imagine. I want you.
Ooh, I just got chills thinking about it.
Matter of fact, do Robert Stack right here. Ready?
He's there already, baby.
There he is. Do it. Oh god,
I'm so excited about him being there. I'm gonna say this movie
we just look
is.
back at the same time. That was so perfect. All right. Anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say this movie is barely fresh, 60%.
60? Okay.
We could go either way. I don't know.
Your next movie.
Nope.
Actually, I'm sorry. 60% is what you guessed, right?
Uh huh.
All right. Let me get my notes out. So, there we go. Zodiac was actually fresh and certified so at 89%.
Ah, a little more, you know.
Yep, the more you know. Fun fact about this. After this movie was released, because of the household detectives that came out of the woodwork after this movie came out, the Zodiac case was reopened because it was closed. Additionally, which is less dramatic, Robert Downey Jr. was so unaccustomed to the experience of both David Fincher's multiple takes because of how much of a perfectionist that he was, and the process of filming digitally as opposed to standard reels, that he rebelled against David for, quote-unquote, having no time to get my shit together in my trailer by hiding mason jars full of his own urine on the set.
Jesus.
Yeah, good time. You know, there's no better way to, to voice your displeasure than leaving mason jars of urine all over the place.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You know, gotta get your point across.
You gotta go. Gotta go.
You gotta go. Ready for your next one now?
Hit me. One more drink. One more drink.
There we go. All right. A wealthy New York City investment banking. All right.
Take two. And action.
A wealthy New York City investment banking executive, Patrick Bateman, hides his alternative psychopathic ego from his coworkers and friends as he delves deeper into his violent, hedonistic fantasies. Directed by Mary Herron, starring Christian Bale and Justin Theroux. I am speaking, of course, of the year of our Lord 2000's American Psycho.
You like Huey Lewis in the News?
New card. What do you think?
Woohoo. Very nice.
Patrick, you're so sweet.
Jean,
Yes, Patrick?
would you like to accompany me to dinner? We're not through yet. If you stay, something bad will happen. Do you have any witnesses or fingerprints?
Actually, yes.
Yeah. Huey Lewis and then I was trying to remember the rest of the monologue and I didn't.
Really came into their own.
Yeah. Fucking Huey Lewis in the News. Jared Leto, I think this is his first. No. When did Fight Club come out? Was it before
99.
this? 99? Okay. So yeah, this was Jared Leto's second acting thing. Fight Club was his first.
I'm putting up a thing right here, right now. We'll see if you're right or not. And it's gone.
I know I'm right. That's fine. I don't even need to watch it. I just know it's right. But you guys should watch it because can we just take a minute? Can we take a minute?
Take two.
So the Rawcast is, entertaining for our banter, but the edited version of the Bloody and Sutty show is fan-fucking-tastic.
Even my mom likes it.
Yeah, Bloody's mom likes it. We're idiots. Like,
Yeah.
we're not what you would call good or smart people, but it's like...
Speak for yourself, moron.
Bloody, idiot. Bloody does such a fucking good job putting this show together, and what I'd like right now, if you could, Bloody, I need your eyes. I'm up here.
Okay, sorry.
What I need you to do right now is I need you to put our YouTube channel right across here. So if you guys could just go to the Bloody and Sutty Show YouTube channel, follow, subscribe, leave comments, participate in the Rotten Tomatoes game. This fucking man puts in so much work for this shit. Like, it's insane. He texts me, is like, well, fucking Da Vinci crashed. Looks like I have to redo 4.5 hours of work. So he puts like 9 hours of work in on his weekend.
15.
Yeah, all right.
15
I was trying to
hours.
lowball it, but he puts a lot of work in on his time off to make sure that this show comes together and then it comes together nicely. I am an asshole, and all I have to do is just cut down some audio. That's all. The only ask he's had of me is, hey,
Have you done that yet?
No. I was getting there. Do you want to maybe cut this down and put it on podcast places to get us more visitors? And I'm like, oh, absolutely, I do want to do that. I haven't yet, but I do want to. Like, it's a thing that's on my list of things I want to do. But if you could show this man some fucking love by going to our YouTube channel, just search the Bloody and Sutty Show. The link's gonna still be down there because it's not fading away. As a matter of fact, if you even want to lower it down so that it's just there for the rest from this point forward, Bloody.
Hey, you know how I love you, right? And how I'm gonna shit all over your point right now.
Oh, god damn it.
So you're talking about doing this in post, right?
Yeah.
So they're on YouTube looking at it.
I know.
So they would already be there.
Remember that part where I said I'm not a smart man?
I didn't think that through, did you?
I didn't. I was trying to just, sing your fucking praises. Anyway.
I really like that, though. You can keep going.
The minute after the stream is done, I'm going to put a link down in my profile channel, or my profile for Twitch. Bloody is going to do the same, if he hasn't already. He probably has, because...
I haven't.
Okay.
I will,
We're both going to put links down there for the podcast channel. Please click it. Subscribe, notifications, bell icon, I don't care. Fucking just witness it, because it's very well done, and motherfucker, I appreciate you.
Motherfucker, I appreciate him.
Yeah. Anyway, where were we?
Somebody subscribed while you said that.
Did they?
Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
You're fucking awesome. Your viewers are great.
Thank you, guys. I really do fucking appreciate you. Like, more than I can put into words. Don't you fucking do it, Bloody.
What?
Okay.
No, I
thought you were gonna be like, hey, try right now, do it.
Oh, yeah, you can try if you want right
words.
now. You can try. I'll wait. Oh, we just got another one.
Fucking Pixel's like, hey, everybody, let's make a drinking game of this. Take a shot every time Sutty appreciates somebody.
That motherfucker, I appreciate
you.
You guys are gonna have alcohol
I'm gonna
poisoning.
Appreciations like Oprah. You get appreciation and you get appreciation. Everybody gets appreciation.
Mm-hmm. Good job, man. Also, to credit the level, my dedication to the YouTube channel, I keep an application open that at all times tracks our subscribers.
That's awesome, dude. I don't do that.
Nope.
You're better at this than I am.
Nope.
Here's the thing, guys, right? Again, to talk Bloody's praises.
This is my favorite part of any show we've ever done. This is up for a BS award right here.
Well, it's important to me, man.
It's nominated.
It's important to me. It's it's important to me that I got one thing from this episode nominated. But no, it's important to me because this man fucking puts so much work and effort into every single stream, from the very first one to this one right here. Every single one, the same amount of love and dedication was put into it. And like, if we're being honest, right? And I'm always honest with all of you.
The internet lies, but we don't.
I don't. I show up on Saturdays.
You do that. I did fall asleep one time.
Yeah, you did. You did fall asleep one time, and I made sure you got a lot of shit for it. Mm-hmm. But there were other times where I'm like, hey, I know the show's 10 minutes ago. I'm not going to make it.
It's okay. What do I always tell you?
I know. And you're like, that's all right, brother Bird. You take care of yours.
But it's never like... It's never like I got drunk and forgot. It's always like
it's never put in contention. There's usually
family
a
shit came up.
Reason. Yeah, there's usually a legitimate reason, but it's important that people know that quickest way to get drunk is by watching Sutty appreciate people. You're not wrong. But Bloody puts so much work into this shit.
He
does such a great fucking job. And I would appreciate you guys for appreciating Bloody on the work that he does in the show. So if
best
you guys
way
could
to
go
say
to the YouTube channel,
that you appreciates me, hit that sub button.
Appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
Hey Roggy, fucking appreciate you, man. I appreciate that you're here every month to start your day. I appreciate that I'm the man that you to every day.
You know what I do that I didn't tell you about?
What's that?
Is we are getting, it's not copyright strikes or anything like that, but like copyright claims on all of our videos.
No way.
Right? Because I edit in a trailer for every video that we talk about. So to avoid, and that's where would always get clipped by one of them, or all of them sometimes.
Yeah.
So to get around that, now I started cutting up the trailers so that YouTube couldn't see them.
So it's not one long string.
Mm-hmm. I used to just kind of shorten them just for time because I don't want to put a 5-minute trailer after every single movie, but it would still get caught. So what I started doing is like cut, take a bunch of parts out, put them back together. So not only did I edit the show, I edit every trailer that gets put on the show, so that and that's where most of the time goes, is like editing that. Our show, for the most part, it's actually pretty simple. It's we talk. I find parts that are kind of lulls. I'll take that out, or one of us gets up. I always do like a pre-show joke and an end show joke, and so that it starts off there. Edit in or create an entirely original intro, which we now have.
We do.
And
I don't know if Kara got back to you, but she said you misspelled some things.
Oh,
again.
I was actually running. I remember how I had the word riveting in there wrong. So I took the whole
put a different word in there. Yeah.
Exhilarating, because I can spell exhilarating, but I can't spell riveting.
She also said that you used the improper form of it's.
Oh, fuck off! I don't care.
But Rocky, I wanted to give you a little bit of skin.
There you go.
Rocky said, "Oh yeah, I wanted to talk to you about that, Sutty. I'm used to waking up to naked people, so could you wear less clothes?" So I decided to undo the buttons on the top of the
little hamburger meat hanging out there, getting a little Miami.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have hamburger meat. That's
Bienvenuto, ami.
It looks like I was shaving my beard, like trimming my beard, and the clippings just embedded themselves into my chest. It looks like a bare-chested. I'm not. It looks like I have like a prepubescent amount of hair on my chest.
You do have a prepubescent amount of hair on your chest. That's not a looks like. That's what that is.
That's fair.
I, on the other hand, I'm a fur-bearing mammal.
Are you really? I've never seen you shirtless, I don't think.
That's by design.
It's upsetting. Do a little one of these.
It went down pretty far too.
You really did. I know, because I know how long. So his beard goes to about right here. So him doing this is that's a substantial.
It's long enough to play with. There you go. You get a little.
Mine is not long enough to do that.
I play with it while you talk. It keeps me occupied. God knows you do say some things.
I'm sorry, man. All right.
Never apologize.
Did you have a guess on that movie?
What was the movie?
American Psycho.
Oh yeah.
Did we go? Yeah.
I was gonna say 85% on that one. That was a great movie.
85.
Everyone likes that movie.
Fantastic, man. I love that movie.
Here's the thing: if this one went way negative, because like it's fucking crazy, I wouldn't be that surprised. But I think it's pretty well received. This is anything less than 85.
It's not way negative. It's not. It is less than what you thought it was.
Okay. With
that is fresh. It is fresh at 68%.
Okay.
Which is respectable for what it was. This was Christian Bale's actually first, leading man role, and everybody warned him not to get it because they're like, "This is gonna tank your fucking career playing this type of role." Blah blah blah.
Awesome.
It actually did not. It did the opposite. It spun him around from being a secondary side character to being the fucking Batman or the Machinist. It did very well for him. Actually, during his chainsaw scene where he throws the chainsaw down,
that's a hell of a throw.
They did several takes of that.
Went through themselves some chainsaws.
He would happily, literally, so he'd, put that out there. He would happily wear or hang out between takes wearing nothing but a sock over his penis and some tennis shoes. So between the chainsaw takes, and I don't know if you've ever been on a movie set, takes can take anywhere between 10, 15 minutes to reset everything up the way that it was.
It can take a while.
Yeah, it can take a little bit. He's just sitting there with a fucking tube sock and tennis shoes on, like, "Hey guys."
Fucking professional.
Going to the craft services table, letting that tube sock just drape over the sandwiches. It's like, "Oh, this smells like Taco Bell bean burritos."
They are why. Taco Bell bean burritos.
Secondly, Whitney Houston, of all people, absolutely refused to allow any of her songs to be used in this film.
Well, she was on crack at the time, so that's fine.
You make bad decisions when on crack. Don't do crack, guys.
Hell of a drug.
hell of a drug. Are you ready for your next one?
Yes, sir.
Good. A string of murders in New York City during the summer 1977, centering on of an Italian-American Northeast Bronx neighborhood who live in fear and distrust of one another. Spike Lee's take on the infamous killing spree of the son of Sam in The Summer of Sam, 1999.
In one hot summer, in one neighborhood.
Is that Richie?
What's happening, guys?
You come back to the neighborhood looking like a freak? You're supposed to be okay with that?
Their world of lovers and friends would never be the same.
Police received a letter from the .44 caliber killer, calling himself the Son of Sam.
The Son of Sam killer, who has been targeting young women, has caused panic-stricken brunettes to dye their hair blonde.
I feel like I'm cheating on you with you.
I know who the killer is. Reggie Jackson.
In 1977, the summer belonged to Sam.
I like this because I remember a scene where all the girls in the show dyed all of their hair so that they wouldn't meet the MO of the killer, because I don't remember if it was brunettes or blondes or brunettes, but they would swap. So they would dye all their blonde hair dark so that they wouldn't meet his MO anymore. And one of the scenes is a guy, I'm like, man, I feel like I'm cheating on my girlfriend with you. It's a funny scene. I don't even know if
I'm sorry. Directed by Spike Lee.
Yeah.
Starring John Lee, a Spike Lee joint. Starring John Leguizamo, Adrian Brody, and Mira Sorvino.
Thanks.
Now you. Yeah.
All right. I don't think I saw this movie, but here we go.
But you remember the scene from it?
It was in the trailer.
Oh, okay.
Which you guys have now seen.
Yeah, that's right there. Like I said, I gave up because you limited me so much, especially in this genre.
This isn't my favorite genre of movies, so I haven't seen
and
a lot.
It doesn't help me at all. Like, it's like
not helpful.
Hey, have you seen this?
Nope.
Have you seen this? Nope. Have you seen this? Have you seen this? That one. It's like, cool.
You're like, have you seen Mr. Brooks? I'm like,
of my,
yeah. So he said, have you seen Mr. Brooks? I said, no. I said, I own that movie. Never seen it. Like, it was on like a Black Friday deal like 5 years ago, and I remember buying it. I think it's still in the wrapper right now.
Yeah, I gave up for this, at least this week. Gave up on asking you if you've seen it. I'm like, because Marie's like, has he seen anything? Because she was like, has he seen Identity? Would that work? I was like, that would work. He hasn't seen it because I asked him 3 weeks ago about that movie.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Sometimes that's a little bit of an advantage because you have no bias of like personal opinion on it,
which is fair. Yeah.
So it's not necessarily the worst case scenario, but it does help if you've seen the movie. Then you'd be like, oh, that was a pile of shit. 99 was a long time ago, so I like to try and base it off of as well of like, what did you hear about the movie after it came out? But it's 20 years ago now, so I don't remember.
What's funny is I saw this movie. I don't remember.
Oh, you don't even remember it
at all? I remember. I remember seeing it, and I remember being like, "Oh shit, this is off a real thing," and then being like, "That's kind of fucked up." That was it.
I don't even know Spike Lee's work that well to know if critics like him or not.
He's divisive. He's divisive. I'll give you that.
So it's like it could go either way.
It really can.
I don't remember hearing anything about this movie at all, which leads me to believe it was probably not very well received. But because of that, I'm getting too much in my head. I don't think this movie did very well. All I have to do is beat 99 to beat you this last game. So I'll say this movie's actually rotten, which could either make or break my game, but I'm going to say rotten at... Fuck it, 40%. I was going to say 50, 40? But I'm going to say 40.
Okay. Summer of Sam was indeed rotten at 51%.
Oh, I would have said 50 now.
50.
That's okay.
I felt it in here that you were going to say it. Now, ooh, it's coming. Yeah, 51%. Fun fact about this movie is Adrian Brody's character Vinny was supposed to be the main character, but because of how much improvisation that John Leguizamo did, he ended up becoming the main character.
After the fact.
Yeah. After all the shooting was done and all the editing was done, John Leguizamo, that was then the lead character. And one of the improvisation scenes that he did was a scene in which Vinny and Diana, who is Mira Sorvino's character, argue in the cemetery. No, Diana, Dionna.
That's a stupid name.
It is. It's fucking Italians.
Unless your name is Diana and you're in chat right now, then you're cool.
Yep, you're awesome. Proud of you for making the decision to be here. So Vinny and Diana argue in the cemetery. Spike Lee told Leguizamo to spit in Mira Sorvino's face without her knowledge. So her reaction to being spit in her face was genuine. When he's like, she's like, 100% genuine, because she did not know it was coming. There's another scene there in there where there is an orgy, and Sorvino was like, this is really demeaning. It's like, no shit, it's a fucking orgy. What did you expect? This
a lot of dudes Porky Pig in it.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you wear a shirt but no bottoms.
All right, so you got 11 on that one. All right.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
Movie I haven't seen.
It's
Actually, I should probably stop altogether.
All right, so the next one. This is where I stopped just asking if you've seen the movies or not.
Okay.
All right, so let me get back down there. 2 victims of traumatized childhoods become lovers in psychopathic serial murders irresponsibly glorified by mass media. I am talking about a film directed by Oliver Stone, starring Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, and Tom Sizemore. 1994's Natural
Born Killers. I have seen this movie.
Nikki and Mallory. Feared by thousands.
I love you so much, baby. I love you.
Watched by millions.
We're fighting. Can't stop fighting.
What do you have to say to your fans?
You ain't seen nothing yet.
Natural Born Killers.
Good.
That was good too.
I liked it a lot.
Here's okay. I almost feel like I'm a little, but I don't remember. So there's that. But full disclosure, I already looked this movie up like a week ago because we were talking about one of the people at my work looked like Woody Harrelson in Natural Born Killers.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked it up, but I don't remember the score at all.
Okay.
But I feel like this movie did really. Who directed it again?
Oliver Stone.
Yeah, you just leave that anywhere.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say this movie is very fresh at 87%.
87, huh?
Strong, yeah.
That is a strong, bold prediction. It's wrong, but it is a bold, strong prediction. Natural Born Killers is actually rotten.
See, that's how you know I don't remember.
At 47%. So
I was
40
close
points on that one.
See?
I mean, you got the 7. You got the
Did
second
I remember
number.
the 7 on it?
That's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
Mr. Body Massage Machine, go. Body massage.
So, fun fact about this movie, actually, and when I read this, I was like, no shit.
Mm-hmm.
Over 150 rattlesnakes, real and fake, were used for the scene when Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis characters tread through the snake field. Initially, there were concerns that the actor and actress would be working too close to so many venomous snakes. But since the scene was filmed at night, when temperatures in the desert are significantly cooler, and since snakes, like all cold-blooded animals, are very sluggish in colder temperatures, most of the rattlesnakes, the real ones, slept through filming. They were just unconscious because it's so cold.
Shut the fuck up.
I swear to God. Like, that's the face that I had when I read it. I was like, oh, that's going in there.
That was the best I think we've ever had for it.
It's like, am I going to get bit? Don't worry. It's too cold to get bit. You're going to be fine.
Actually, you know what's funny is...
that they had.
Yeah, it's funny too now that I know that, because at night when I go to take the trash out, I'm always a little bit scared that there's going to be a snake like behind my trash cans. Now I'm not as scared anymore.
Yeah, they're a little too sleepy. It's sleepy times. Cold times.
Granted,
times.
at night here, it's
times.
like still 100 degrees, but so actually, no, I'm still scared.
Time, though. Yeah. Good. I'm glad to have taken you through that emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, no, back to regular fear. Fucking 40 points.
Regular fear is good fear, man. Dude, you know what snakes are weird? Sidewinder snakes. You ever seen those?
Yeah, they go sideways.
They make that fucking S through the sand. They slither this way.
I saw a video online of some dude seeing one of those in a road, pulled his car over, and like an idiot pulls out a pistol and tries to shoot it, and you just see it chase after him. And he never hit it. He's dead.
When I lived in...
He's dead now.
When I lived in California, I was going to Costco to get gas, and there was a rat snake there, hiding under like a branch, like a tumbleweed or whatnot, right along the curb. And it was big. It was like 4 feet. It was a big dude.
4 feet?
Well, yeah. This is 3 inches, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, 4 feet. Fucking but no, I saw it under some brush, and I was like, oh man. So I wanted to get a picture of it because it was a big guy.
Mm-hmm.
I'd never seen a big snake like that in the wild. So I took a picture of it, and I was like, let me get this brush out of the way. So I tried to kick the fucking tumbleweed, and then it's like curled up. I was like, oh God, don't do that. But me being the young idiot that I am, I'm like, oh, don't do that, but pose right. Let me
selfie culture.
Let me get in there. And I did get a very good picture. I'll send it to you. You put it right there, because I think I still have it.
No big deal.
Ready for your next movie?
Sure.
All right. After being committed for 17 years, Michael Myers,
nice,
now a grown man and still very dangerous, escapes from a mental institution and immediately returns to Haddonfield to find his baby sister, Lori. I am, of course, not talking about the 70s Halloween.
Oh, you're
not talking about the 1990 remakes. I am talking about the reboot.
Zombies.
Directed by none other than Rob Zombie. 2007's Halloween.
Tonight's brutal murders was described by police as Manson-like in its viciousness. 3 people brutally murdered and a 10-year-old boy being held in custody.
You haven't said a word for 15 years.
Is the boogeyman real? Why are you so obsessed with the boogeyman, Tommy?
I'm gonna cut that mask right off your face. He's come back for his baby sister. To do what?
This was the first one, yeah? Because he did 2.
He did 2, and I have a fun fact about that as well.
I don't think Rob Zombie does too well with the critics. I saw this one. You saw this one, yeah?
I did.
This was good. This is good. This is a good remake.
I liked it a lot.
It was way better than the first one. It got into why he was
His
that
backstory,
way. Yeah.
why he was the way he was, which is why I liked it a lot.
It personified him a little bit more than the first ones, because he was just like some guy who killed people in the first ones and really hard to kill. And this one actually was like, why is he the serial killer that he is? It was really good too, because it kind of really goes in well with what we were talking about. How getting fucked up as a kid will,
nature, yeah.
Will, yeah. So actually, I think this one did far better than his average, and I will say, fuck, it's Rob Zombie though. I don't know how much. How
it's tough. It is tough.
And
I thought about doing, to, you know, give you some context. I thought about doing Devil's Rejects in its place.
Yeah.
But I felt like this was just a little bit better.
Yeah, Devil's Rejects I liked a lot too.
I loved that movie.
The sequel to House of
the other
Thousand
part
Corpses.
of it is I feel like I'd be really upset if Devil's Rejects did poorly because of how much I love that movie. I know.
I will say Halloween. I think he'll catch some points for being nostalgic. And and this was what year again? 2007?
2007, yeah.
This was kind of like, is this reboot time or no?
Ish. Yeah, it was right around that time.
So I don't think he probably would have gotten dinged too hard for reboot. I will say it's fresh at 70%. I think he's did okay.
That's rough for you, buddy.
It's pretty high. Way
That
too
is
high.
real high. It's way too high.
If it's
too damn high.
If it's 20%, I wouldn't at all be surprised.
Well, it's not 20.
But
It is,
30?
however, 26.
Oh, poor guy.
Yeah, it's 26%. So you said 70.
Yeah.
So 44. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying not to be sneezy right now. I don't know why I'm.
Dude, my allergies
all
are
of a
acting up
sudden
right
trying
now
to
too.
sneeze.
It's raining out. So look at this tear duct right now. It's huge.
Look at that.
Allergies.
Look at this nasal passage right there.
See how swollen it
Look
is?
at it. All right. So, Rob Zombie actually revealed making Halloween with the Weinsteins was, quote unquote, a miserable experience for me, and so I was very reticent to do the second one. I did do the second one, and I thought, okay, well, the first one was a miserable experience, but it did well, so maybe it'll be easier the second time, question mark. It was worse. Oh my god. I felt like they weren't trusting me on the first one because they wanted to make sure it was a hit, and now they weren't trusting me not to fuck up their hit. Detailing why the experience was not detailing why the experience was not one the creators look back on favorably. He said they would show me scenes from Halloween to try and make a point, and I'd be like, yeah, I know, I made that movie. Why do you show me that like I've never? We made a behind-the-scenes documentary for the making of Halloween that has somehow gotten lost in the vaults. That's how messed up everything was and what was going on when we were making those movies. So Rob Zombie just had a really shit experience with Weinstein Brothers. And,
I don't know anyone who's made like I know Corolla made a movie with them called The Hammer, and it was done through the Weinsteins. He's like, not only are they the most crooked company in the world, but they're fucking awful.
Yeah.
I'm not even surprised by this story at all. Sounds right. Weinsteins are horrible.
Agreed.
That's
Just
Dr. Disrespect's agency. Is the newly named Weinstein company. Did you see he's got a show coming out?
I did not.
Fucking send it to you, man. Itchy.
Sorry.
Shop.bloodyelf.com. Get the hottest merch in the game.
Hey, you ready for your score?
God, it's got to be 130.
It's worse.
Oh.
151.
Ooh, new record.
I
Nice.
hope I did the. Hi. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm loud. I'm being loud.
Fucking scumbag.
Wild Marie appeared. Marie, say hi.
She looks nice.
Hi, everybody. She does look nice. She always looks nice.
Pretty lady.
And kiss.
Punch him in the teeth.
She thought about it for a second. She's like, I might punch him instead. She did think about it. But yeah, 100 and, what did it say, 51?
Mm-hmm. Hey, I feel like this was a fun show. Dude,
it was a fun show.
2 hours
like
and 20 minutes right
hours,
now. Yeah, that's what we're at.
Fun show. It was a long one. Hey,
I
have I
probably
ever
will
told
cut
you
those, Sutty.
how much I appreciate you about editing?
those spider swords are gonna get cut, man.
Have I ever told you about how much you're so good at being the best editor ever there was in the game? You're the best editor there was in the game.
Number one in the fucking game.
Look at how straight that tree is, though. Can we take it a minute to
that
just
tree looks like it drank more than you did.
Hey, what are we playing tonight? All right, we'll discuss that after.
Okay.
Let's have I told you lately? Eggs, you're only 5 beers deep. Get up to my level, man.
Come on, man, that's rookie numbers. You got to get those numbers
you
up.
are really reining it in over there. That. Hey.
What's up, dog?
Hey, baby girl. I just want you to know that I could eat a pizza for. You ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, dude. Yes, please.
Yes, please. All right, so. Oh, my metal song just slowed down in my head for this, so it's works out. Hey.
Hey.
You.
Me? Or are you talking
Not
about
you.
the viewers? Okay,
Not
sorry.
you. I'm talking to these
I
people
know.
right here.
Just want to make
Hey,
sure you knew who you were talking to.
I really appreciate you for being here. More than, I could ever really put into words. And I want you to know that whatever you're going through, if it's whatever it is, if it's real tough, don't worry, you're gonna fucking get through it, and you're gonna be okay. And we're Bloody, the Elf, myself, SuttySmash. We're here for you. Help take your mind off everything. Help you get through whatever it is that you're going through. Be it personal, mental, fucking work-related, family-related, what have you. We're here to take care of your entertainment needs. Get your mind off everything, Just fucking take a step back, see things from a different light, and make sure that, you're approaching it properly. But at the end of the day, we fucking love you for being here. You're amazing. Love you. Bloody, take it away.
And I'm Bloody the Elf for SuttySmash. Remind you guys, keep it posy. Nailed it.
So good.